So after crossing Renjo La Pass, we reached Gokyo, but our guide was not very happy with us. We took more than 12 hours, जबकि आइटनरी में था कि 8 घंटे लगेंगे. Even there were other groups और उसमें बहुत ही pro level के ट्रैकर्स थे. Even they took 9.5 hours. तो मतलब 8 घंटे तो nowhere closer to reality है. As per Shambhu, Renjo La Pass was the easiest pass among other passes. So we were not sure what will happen. But that night when we reached Gokyo, I just ate and I dozed off. So day 8 was the acclimatization day at Gokyo, and I got up with the sound of helicopter, and I immediately knew that something was wrong. And I learned on the breakfast table that few hikers were evacuated because they ran into health issues. I was wondering that last night everybody was looking absolutely all right. So I thanked God again for keeping me all right. My blood oxygen level was all okay. I did not take any medicines yet. So I was really happy that even if I'm going slow, but I'm keeping myself all right, my health all right. So I was happy about that. But my guide was not happy with my face. And now for every hike, he started giving us exaggerated timelines. So for example, for visiting 4th Gokyo Lake, he told us it's going to take 4 hours. For 5th Gokyo Lake, he said it's going to take 7 to 8 hours. For Gokyo-ri, he said it's going to take another 8 hours. So for everything, I felt he doubled the time. He added by saying this to Raghav that सर आप कर लो गोक्यूरी आप कर लोगे टाइम लगेगा 7-8 घंटे बट आप करके आ जाओगे एंड एंड आई वाज लाइक ओ माय गॉड मतलब आफ्टर रेंजोला ही इज सो श्योर कि इससे तो होगा ही नहीं कोई भी आगे वाला पास. Obviously you will feel bad but I couldn't do much about it because I was really tired and I really didn't want to exert myself. I would rather prefer staying in the tea house and just giving rest to my body. So I listened to what he said. I felt bad, but I just left it. Raghav also decided to skip Gokyuri because the view is almost same that of Renjo La Pass. Then we decided that rather than sitting all day in the tea house, it's better to step out and explore the nearby places. So we decided to take a leisure walk till 4th Gokyo Lake and return. And also witness the massive Ngozumpa Glacier. So Ngozumpa, if I'm pronouncing it right, is the longest Himalayan glacier, and it was huge. It was really huge, and I got super excited on learning that next day we had to cross that glacier. So after spending some time on 4th Gokyo Lake and the 3rd Gokyo Lake, we then returned to tea house, had dinner and went for sleep. But that night was very difficult, was very challenging. So I had dinner around 6:30 p.m. and then I went for sleep. But around 12 in the night, I started to feel breathless and I immediately checked my blood oxygen level. It was 79% and I was like, oh shit, it's going down. I need to do something. I immediately lied down on my stomach and did some deep breathing sessions. So I did that for almost 2 hours and I noticed my blood oxygen level gradually increased from 79 to 84 and then to 90. But it took 2 hours, otherwise it would have called for an emergency. I just could not sleep well in the night and in the morning I didn't feel like getting up at all. Today is day 9 of the trip और आज हम लोग को जाना है गोक्यो से थंगनाक and पता नहीं बड़े मिक्स फीलिंग्स हैं अभी. लेट्स सी, थोड़ा ब्रेकफास्ट करते मे बी, देन आई विल feel bit motivated to continue the journey. I think the toughest challenge of this trek was to keep your spirits high every day and start a day on a high note. So the plan was to move from Gokyo to Thangnak, which will take like 4 hours, and we were to cross the longest Himalayan glacier, that was the Ngozumpa Glacier. There were shooting stone patches in the beginning and I could see stones falling, but we had to cross that stretch. और अभी वहाँ से सबसे ज़्यादा पत्थर गिर रहे हैं. And our guide told us that rush as fast as you can. Do not stop anywhere. Do not look here and there. Just cross it. Just walk as fast as you can.
हो गया. Now we are safe.
एक दो बारी ऐसा हुआ, पत्थरों के गिरने की आवाज आ रही थी and I stopped to look up और शंभू मुझे बोल रहा है मैम रुको मत, चलो 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 रुकना नहीं है. So there were instances when I saw stones coming towards me and it just stopped like 1 meter away from me and I was so surprised. I just cannot express that feeling because I saw them coming towards me. I knew it's going to hit me, but it didn't. It just stopped right there, and that somewhere restored that belief in me, as if Bhagwan is telling me कि तुम बस ट्रैक करो, मैं तुम्हारे साथ हूँ. And it happened not once, not twice, it happened thrice. The stones fell and stopped, and one stone was like, whoop, it went like this. Woof. It was a 4-kilometer stretch that we crossed. The entire glacier was like all ups and downs, ups and downs. And at every slope, there was something to cherish. I had never seen this side of nature before. It was so beautiful, extremely beautiful. This was by far the most adventurous day and the one that strengthened my belief in the Supreme Soul. It took me 3 hours to reach Thangnak. Our guide was a bit surprised that we reached in 3 hours. He was expecting it to be more than 4, but we did it in 3 hours, so he was a bit happy. and little bit convinced that we could do Chola Pass. And I was so happy that I treated myself with pizza and we enjoyed rest of the day at the tea house.
Hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze. कि मैंने रात पे डिनर के बाद मैम का ऑक्सीजन लेवल से किया. उस टाइम मैम का ऑक्सीजन लेवल बहुत अच्छा था, 88 89 था. वो अच्छा होगा. वो मैंने सोच लिया कि वो मैम का ऑक्सीजन लेवल अच्छा है, वो कर सकती है और चोला भी. मैंने अंदर अंदर सोच लिया था.
Finally, the day arrived. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is day 10 of our trip और आज सबसे challenging दिन है हमारे trek का because today we'll be crossing the mighty Chola Pass. This time also, Shambhu prepared us. So phase 1 is like steep incline, phase 2 is steep descent, and then phase 3 is when you actually climb the final incline to reach to the top of the Chola Pass. And afterwards, then there are like long descents. But the other side of Chola Pass is like completely covered with snow. So we were prepared with this, and Shambhu told us that again it's going to be a long day. You are going to take 13-14 hours. So keep your energy drinks ready with you. Keep enough water with you. Carry additional water bottles with you. So he prepared us mentally for again 13 to 14 hours of a trek. So the route was full of boulders and rocks and there was no dedicated path. We just had to climb the mountain and climb those boulders, climb those rocks and just keep going higher and higher and higher. It was indeed a very different experience from Renjo La Pass. The initial phase was more like crossing a valley, and I must say a never-ending valley. I think I took 3 hours or so to climb the first phase, which was a steep ascent. We carried our breakfast and lunch because there were no food joints or tea houses on the way, and we did the same thing during the Renjola also. ये तो जो पहला incline phase था, इसी में बस हो गई है. अभी चोला पास की चढ़ाई चढ़नी है. So before starting phase 2, I took 20 minutes rest and the descent was faster. But what was next waiting for us was unimaginable, completely unimaginable. I looked up at the mountain and wondered how to climb it because it was so steep. And after looking at that wall again, I knew that this is going to be another Renjola. But I promised myself that I will keep going. I will not stop. I will just keep going forward. Chola Pass की चढ़ाई चढ़नी है. And now there is no turning back. Once you are committed, you are committed. ओह बाप रे बाप. नीचे से जब देख रहे थे लग रहा था जैसे एक इनक्लाइन है, बस वो चढ़ना है. यहाँ तो रास्ता ही नहीं है. ओह गॉड, अभी भी 50% बाकी है. On reaching there, I learned that there is no guided path. These were just rocks and you just have to climb those rocks. There were those iron ropes tied along the sides so that you can just take support from it, hold it and then move upwards, then climb upwards. My head was actually like this every time I was looking up at the mountain. It was so steep, extremely steep. I was telling myself that I would probably take 4 to 5 hours just to climb this phase 3, but I did it in less than 2 hours. Just because I did not stop in between, I was slow, but I was steady. I kept going step by step, step by step, step by step, and reached at the top of Chola Pass. Finally made it to the top of the Chola Pass. I seriously don't know how I did it.
Oh, I got lost on the way to you in an orange sky by the ocean blue. Every mile lost, my soul renewed, taken by the sunrise and the golden view. Walking slowly in the mountains underneath the constellations. Yeah, I know that you've been waiting for me. Time is losing all its meaning, like I'm living in a dream, and I've been chasing all the feelings I need. It's in these moments with words unspoken, my eyes wide open, life tastes so sweet. It's in these moments where all I know is coming into focus, and now I see. It's in these moments.
The other side was covered with snow. It was like a winter wonderland, and we had to wear micro spikes to cross over. The views were just mesmerizing. I felt a different kind of energy that day. In less than 9 hours, we reached our next destination, which was Zongla. And Shambhu, our guide, could not believe that we made it so fast. He was expecting us to take 13-14 hours. We were mentally prepared that we are going to take 13-14 hours, but we did it in 9 hours, and I seriously don't know how. It wasn't that I pushed myself or I was fast, but this time I was mentally prepared for it, and that gave him a lot of confidence.
उसने हमको चोला पास में 14 आवर लगेगा मैंने सोचा था, पर मैम ने 9 आवर पे कंप्लीट किया. उस टाइम मेरे को कॉन्फिडेंस आया कि मैम ने ये 3 पास अच्छे से कर सकती है.
The minute we reached Zongla, it started snowing. I thank God again for keeping the weather under check. Otherwise, it would have been very challenging to cross Chola in such extreme or in such bad weather. So Chola definitely brought a very positive light. But will we be able to sustain it for a longer period or not? That was the question. It was 10th day of the trek and there were 8 more days to go. Things don't always go as planned. We have a situation here.